Well, the debates were yesterday, folks, and they were outstanding. I said the debates, I mean one debate. The debate. The English debate was yesterday, and it was a doozy. From journalist drama to Carney's self ownership. That is the only thing. That is the last thing. And the last thing that any Canadian will own is Mark Carney owning himself in last night's debate. And also, there was some major journalist drama that we will be unpacking. And of course, more CBC hypocrisy. Folks, I'm your host, Parma John, and this is Niagara Due North. Welcome to the show. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Did it. The election last night was good. Was it outstanding? No. That's crazy. I wanted to see things during the debate last night. I didn't see it, but you tell me, comment down below. Who won the debate? Firstly, it's going to be out of order, but I need to hit you guys up with the biggest highlight of the night, Mark Carney's self-ownership. It was fantastic.
Well, I have got my security clearance when I was a minister. I got top secret clearance at the time, so there's no problem getting that. But when the government made this recent offer, they said that if I got the security clearance briefings, that I would be gagged under the security law, and I could be prosecuted if I spoke freely about matters
gagged,
of
folks.
foreign
Gagged.
interference. Now, given that Canada has experienced
Grow up.
Chinese interference by Beijing, the government of China, in 2 consecutive elections, I needed to do my job to speak freely without fear of prosecution. And that was not something I would be allowed to do. Even Thomas Mulcair, the former leader of the NDP, said that when he was the leader of the opposition, he never would have accepted the kind of gag order that your government and Mr. Trudeau's government was attempting to impose on me. And it's good that I'd made that decision, because it has allowed me to speak freely about things like the case where one of your candidates, sir, actually said that he wanted to send a political opponent to China under a bounty threatening his life or imprisonment, and you refused to get rid of him. Now, it might have something to do with the fact that you went to China not long ago to get a $250 million loan for your company. But the reality is, you refused to stand up for a Canadian who was being threatened by a foreign government, and I was able to speak freely on that matter because I refused the gag order that the Liberal government attempted to impose on me.
Well,
Pierre, he has a family. He has a family, man. Take it easy. I didn't know that about Tom Mulcair either. Do you guys know Tom Mulcair? Loser. Here's what's funny. The next clip I have for you guys, it's heartwarming, it's touching. Pierre Poilievre's closing statement, folks. It's a good one.
Only in Canada could someone start where I began and get to this stage. I was born to a single mother and adopted by school teachers who raised me to believe in the incredible Canadian promise that anyone who worked hard could do anything. That promise feels broken today. Many of you worried about paying your bills, feeding your families, or ever even owning a home. You're worried your kids are in danger. But I'm here to say it doesn't have to be this way. With change, we can restore the Canadian promise so that hard work gets you a beautiful house on a safe street under a proud flag. We can do it with hope for a change. Only in Canada could someone...
Honestly, that's the kind of stuff that I really didn't want to see at all during this thing. But he went, I don't know. You spend 20 years in politics. You're so entrenched in it. I guess you really want to have that prime minister campaign. That's the kind of stuff that I have problems with, that kind of stuff in this campaign. I'm in the group that if he loses, that's going to be the group. That's going to be the reason. But I'm also in the group that if he loses, it's probably because Jagmeet Singh crashed his campaign on purpose. And same with the Greens. I bet the Greens get official prediction with the Elizabeth May party. It's going to die. This election, she's going to retire, and Canada's going to have no more Green Party. Getting back to it. During the debate last night, all of the... And I have for you folks from Juno News. Let's see this. What was Pierre Poilievre's biggest regret of the campaign?
I had a rule that at all my rallies, even when they're really big, I would stand in front of a flag and greet every single person and hear their stories and learn their struggles. And that was always touching to me, that they would put their faith in me or in any of us.
Yeah.
But we've been in such a rush because we have to get off to the next event, so we haven't been able to stop and do that. And I want you to know out there, I haven't forgot about you.
You see the strategy here? Do you see what Pierre is doing? Hope and change versus fear and sameness? Is it going to get him to win? I think it's... And this next clip I have for you right here is not so much for Pierre Poilievre, because guys, guess what? Yves Blanchet showed up to the debate last night, and he was just as good as Pierre. He's just a Quebec separatist and a socialist and a tree hugger. So we don't like him, okay? But when he goes after Mark Carney, it's great. But he did it humorously. So listen to this clip about Pierre Poilievre's affordability, and listen, keep your ears peeled.
Any different than the previous 10 years of Liberal government.
25 seconds left in this.
The question you have to ask is, after a decade of Liberal promises, can you afford food? Is your housing more affordable than it used to be? What is your cost of living like compared to what it was a decade ago? And are you prepared to elect the same Liberal MPs, the same Liberal ministers, the same Liberal staffers all over again for a fourth term? Mr. Carney, Justin Trudeau's staffers are actually here with you at this debate in Montreal, writing the talking points that you are regurgitating into the microphone. How can we possibly believe that you are any different than the previous 10 years of Liberal government?
25 seconds left in this.
What is your cost of living like compared to 10 years ago? I eat a lot of Mr. Noodles. Yves Blanchet literally sitting there picking on this guy. Okay? Here's the funny thing about Mark Carney picking on Poilievre being a career politician. Everybody there is a career politician. He's making fun of everyone. I mean, none of them are going to ever be a leader of the country. I mean, Jagmeet and Yves. But they're career politicians. Yves Blanchet's going to treat you like he's a dog and you're a fly. And that is exactly what the debate was last night. Yves Blanchet, guys, is great. Don't get fooled. And other than that, folks, Jagmeet Singh was an utter embarrassment to the point where I'm pretty sure he flunked it on purpose. I think he was out there trying to do as bad as possible to make people hate him as much as possible, to lose as many seats as possible. I think the NDP may have 5 seats this election. I think the Green Party will have 1 or none. I think if the Conservatives win, it's going to be an extreme minority. Extreme minority government. If they win, and I mean like freaking 170 to 169, man. I don't think that we're going to get what we want out of this election. One last thing, folks. One last thing from Ezra Levant. We have journal drama that happened last night. And I think this is the reason why they didn't have the scrums last night. And that's right, folks. We have it right here for you. Ezra Levant, the Government Debates Commission has officially cancelled media scrum after the debates, rather than allow Rebel News to ask any questions. The media party would rather burn the whole place down rather than let one of us peasants ask an unscripted question. I understand the fact Rebel News completely flooded all of the questions, and I guess I can't blame the journalists, the propagandists, for being mad that, I mean, Jagmeet Singh had 2 Rebel News journalists ask him questions. Mark Carney had 2 True North people ask him questions, right? So I don't know why they couldn't just limit Rebel News to only one question. Fucking bullshit, man. In the last clip I have for you guys today, Ezra Levant got in a huge...
Voice doesn't work.
You're arguing about the Ryan Turnbull story, I believe.
Honestly, I have respect for this sort of...
No, I know. I think that's what they're arguing about, is the Ryan Turnbull story.
Your little chattering
That
class,
Kian did.
you third-party advertisers that you work for. Rebel News? Rebel News, owned by Ezra Levant, is a different company?
Is he learning that Kian Bexley is not a Rebel News?
Well, I want to make sure the guys filming it over there get a good audio. So.
He's arguing with Kian Bexley right now, saying that Kian Bexley is just owned by Rebel News.
A lavalier mic.
Enunciating properly?
Do you want to put a lavalier mic on and then I can hear
You
you?
have one set up? You got the levels ready for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're clearly not doing any actual journalism.
Really?
Why, when you guys started gaming the rules and threatening to sue because you didn't get your way, I assumed the rules were out the window. Oh, was that like when it was in black and white saying you should only have one reporter accredited so that everyone might have a chance to ask questions?
See, I get this.
You wanted to take, what was it, 2-minute long questions so that Poilievre only got asked 3 questions. He usually allows 4 because things move a little bit quicker at his press conference.
And I forget too, but if you guys watched my video yesterday, you didn't. The lady journalist that he's talking to asked Jagmeet Singh an incredible question.
So verbose, I'll say. Most of us didn't get a question. And what I really don't enjoy is that everyone else here was being respectful, following the rules, just being considerate to everyone else. And what you guys decided to do was to take advantage, threaten to sue, so that you could try to get more than everyone else. And now, nobody likes you.
Yeah, that's not true whatsoever.
They had 4 questions and we had 4 questions. Why are you lying? We had the same number as the
after you guys
CBC.
threatened to sue, so that you could, that's why they got the 4 questions, because the commission...
You're making that up. You're lying again.
When did the CBC get 4 questions?
Yesterday.
Yes, after they had already...
And they had it the same in
told
2021,
because
same in
you threatened
2019.
to sue.
You're lying again.
I'm not.
It's in the correspondence that
Don't you have a third-party advertising truck to go take care of?
you're lying
How
again.
much have you spent on third-party advertising this election? Between Rebel News and For Canada, companies you own both of.
CBC is trying to tell everyone that right-wing news outlets are extreme and we can't allow them to speak at events. They never say the word right-wing. They only ever say extreme right-wing or far right-wing. These terms stem from COVID, stem from Germany, stem from... Folks, there was so much information to crush into this video today. The debates were great, and it was everything that we kind of expect from Pierre. Not everything we wanted, but everything we expected. He's going to be a very, very great leader if he actually becomes one. I'm actually scared that we're not going to win, guys. Get out and vote. Early voting starts today. I already voted. So get out there, guys.